Hello, I'm meteorologist Rob Kromark with a forecast specific for Tuesday for Northern California because each and every day of this heat wave is going to be a little bit different than the day before and the day before that. Now, this is the third day in this heat wave with temperatures at or above 100 degrees, but we're adding in this component right here, which is what happened through the middle of the night. Strong north winds moved in, which really cranked up the fire risk, which we're going to have for the next couple days. Now, I want to get some perspective on this because I think that this is really important. When we're talking about a heat wave, quite often a heat wave for Northern California is 2, 3, maybe 4 days at or above 100 degrees. Sometimes they're hotter, sometimes they're right around 105. Very occasionally do we even get to 110 degrees, and the longest stretch there of 110 degrees or hotter has only been 2 days, so it rarely ever happens. Now, that may be possible within this heat wave, but I'm more focused on the first two, which is not only hot, but lasting for a really long time. The current record is 11 days in a row of 100 degrees or hotter for Sacramento. I'm forecasting 12. The current record for heat 105 or hotter is 7 days in a row for Sacramento. I'm forecasting 8 days in a row. So this is, again, the kind of heat that's not only here now, but it's going to be lasting for a very long time. Now, as we continue to fill this out day by day, easily we'll be over 100 degrees today. We're probably going to hit that by around noon on Tuesday. But going forward, I think we're going to get up to probably right around 12 days in a row, which would set the new record. So it's all about not only the heat that we're dealing with, but how long it's going to be lasting with this pattern. Now, specific for Tuesday, the north wind showed up very early. As the sun was coming up, it was strong. It took us to temperatures in the 70s and 80s and 90s very quickly, and this is going to be the case over the next couple of days. Now, forecasting the wind is really important for our region because we have the cold Pacific Ocean. If that wind shifts at all to an onshore wind, that means it comes in from the ocean onto the shore, then all of a sudden our temperatures, if it comes in during the middle of the day, get capped. We just don't get that hot. Or if it comes in strongly overnight, then that really can allow us to cool overnight, bringing our average temperature down and also reducing the fire risk. Here's the problem. Our delta breeze shows up for maybe an hour or two, and it's very brief. And then very quickly, this is 10 o'clock later on Tuesday, the north winds ramp up again through the middle of the night, keeping that fire risk elevated, the air very dry, and it's going to be lasting for a couple of days. In fact, it's not till Wednesday night when it's more pronounced onshore that lasts for several hours into the evening, shutting off that north wind, that we can finally see this area in pink, which is the red flag warning, disappear. So again, for Tuesday and Wednesday, critical fire conditions. A lot of this is going to happen in the middle of the night. That's when we're most concerned. And you can see where the wind is. The highest risk is going to be north of Sacramento, hugging that west side of the valley. Very hot, very dry, windy, critical fire conditions. The issue is this. If a fire breaks out Tuesday or Wednesday, with the smoke that it creates, it's very likely just going to linger around for the rest of this heat wave. So we really don't want to think about that. Now, something new here at ABC 10 that we will talk much more in detail later on are weather impact days. We've added a certain element to how we describe these really impactful days where the weather really is in charge of what you're going to do or not do and what you should be thinking about. For example, the weather impact today, in addition to the heat, is the fire conditions. So from Tuesday through Wednesday, it's critical fire conditions, and your job is to really just be aware of this and know if you see smoke or flames, you got to be ready to move. Grass fires move very quickly in strong north winds. That's exactly what we're going to have the next couple of days. Now, the forecast high on our Tuesday is not just about the valley locations, which obviously over 100 degrees are hot. What you get in some of these other spots in the lower foothills are hot daytime temperatures and really warm overnight temperatures. Some of you waking up in the 80-degree range by early on Wednesday morning. The Bay Area, obviously, once you get to the immediate coastline, you're going to find some relief. But the second you get away from that, 80s, 90s in and around the Bay Area, triple digits plus. Today, on our Tuesday, easily the hottest day of the year, ranging between 107 and 110 degrees. The pattern's an easy one. Monster ridge of high pressure, not budging. This heat wave is going to last all week, this weekend, and next week as well. So that's really some of the critical issues that we're going to be dealing with. And by the way, Tuesday through Saturday, easily 105 to 110. I'm looking at Sunday possibly extending this and even going into next week. So this is something that's going to last for a while. Again, going back to our weather impact days, which are highlighted in red, obviously you need to be very aware of the weather because of the fire risk and the heat today. Even hotter on Wednesday, still very hot and impactful, but at least the red flag warning does go away. Even though there's a fire risk, it's not critical because the winds will not be as strong and the air not as dry. But we're still looking at the heat being a major impact for you all the way through the weekend. Now, 106 degrees on Monday, yes, that's still hot, and that still extends many of these streaks that I talked about right in the beginning, but it's not as critically hot, and we do start to see things backing off. Also, the overnight temperatures start to come down as well into the mid-60s. So next week is still going to be very hot, but not as hot as the next 7 days. So in short, Northern California is still buckling down for a major heat wave that is intensifying for the rest of this weekend, this upcoming weekend. Remember, in the middle of all this, on Thursday is the 4th of July holiday, so this is going to be a very impactful week for everybody and all plans outdoors.